Today, I want to talk about personal introductions. You are doing these so often, you're probably not even thinking about it. You might not even realize you're doing a personal introduction because they happen so organically. But I want to ask you a question. Have you ever considered how your personal introductions are impacting the trajectory of your career? Maybe even your personal life, because we're doing them there too. Now, we know that what happens in the beginning of any interaction, these first impression moments, are critical. Whatever happens in the first 7 seconds and then the first slice, so say minute that people meet you, has a compounding impact on everything else that happens with that person, not just within that interaction, but in the future as well. So what we perceive first, we will then reinforce that belief over and over again, despite evidence to the contrary. So one, why would you leave up to chance something that's having such an impact for you? And second, your personal introductions are absolutely critical for your listeners. Your listeners need to believe that you're capable of guiding them, of leading them to wherever it is you're there to facilitate, okay? So that personal introduction, it does that for them too. So it's like a flow chart. In this moment, when they meet you, they're going, they've got what it takes or they don't. I use a formula for this. It's 3 parts, 3 I's. Number 1, your identity. Number 2, your impact. And number 3, your intent. 3 I's, okay? It looks like this: identity. Now, if it's in a formal situation, people that don't know me, it could sound something like this for me. Hi, I'm Mary Falkenstern. I'm a communication strategist. Okay, identity. Impact. For the past 15 years, I've coached senior leaders in top tier banks transform their communication skills into career defining strengths. Okay, that's something I've done. It's impact. How many things of impact? 1 sentence. Number 3, my intent. I want to help you do the same. I want to give you what I've learned from these 15 years so that you can also make communication a career-defining strength for you. Okay, that's my intent. That's it. Fill in the blank with yours. Now, here's the thing. What I'm sharing with you today in this context I'm not going to insert that same introduction to an entirely different audience with an entirely different intent. So you're going to fill in what the audience needs from you to believe that you've got what it takes, that you have a track record. So essentially who I am, what I've done in the past that gives me credibility to talk to you all today, and where I'm going in the future. Not only does this presence my intent for what I'm here to talk about or what we're here to do, but it also shows me as somebody who has direction. Leaders have to have direction. Okay. They're usually leading you somewhere you don't know if it's going to work or not. So I've got to stand for it. So that means in my delivery, I want to be clear. I want to stand up straight. I want to speak out. I don't want to hold my voice in. This is not a time for upward inflections or don't look at me, because what that's doing for you is it's making you look like you don't deserve to be there, which then makes your listeners go, I don't want to follow that person. Why would I want to follow somebody who can't even stand up for themselves? Right? So those are the 3 parts. Okay. Now, I want to give some context to this because this is very contextual. It's so simple, but so contextual. So now how am I prepping this? I don't have to prepare my intro. I don't have to prepare saying my name. I just have to prepare my intent prior to every single interaction. Now, I've done this for at least 15 years. We've been talking for as long as we've been alive. There are still meetings. I could walk into one tomorrow. If I'm not clear on my intent, I can promise you that my personal introduction is not going to be great. So if you do nothing else, prepare why you are there. Prepare what the purpose is that you have in that room. You in that room for those people, that's your introduction. Done. Now, you're in a room full of people that don't know you. You still can use this. You would use this when you are going to share something and you know the listeners might not think you have anything of value in that context. So you might not have inherent track record relative to those people. Maybe you're in marketing and you have a killer idea for product. So you need to reposition yourself in that room. It's like you're getting into a field, onto the court, and you're going, I'm here to play. And how do you do that? Very simply and very efficiently, you're going to say something you've done so that everybody goes, oh, okay, wait, this is somebody who's worth listening to. So maybe, okay, so that, for example, marketing product, I was just in a brainstorming session last week where I helped generate a go to market product that's actually doing X, Y, and Z on the field right now. I have an idea. So now you need to do this in a way that's very fluid, where it feels part of the conversation, but you're doing it very deliberately to plant a seed in people's brains that you have something from your past that gives you credibility. You're doing this like a neuro hack for people. So tell me what you think of that. The third one that I want to share the context. So we went through formal, then we talked about if people don't know you, then we have the one that everybody absolutely has been exposed to, and probably, if you're like most people, don't really like. We're going to go around the horn and everybody share your name and your hometown and a fun fact about yourself. Like, even if you have like Anthony Bourdain in the audience, he's like, I got nothing. Oh gosh, I'm so uninterested. Everybody feels uninteresting suddenly in this moment. So here's my very deep response to this, is just to have some in your back pocket, but don't do it. Don't like sit down and write fun facts about yourself, because those are probably going to be boring. This is an opportunity, one, to give people something about you that is a more holistic scope. You're saying, this is my story in this very small, succinct, please be succinct. Please don't give the whole fun fact about the time you went to the Taylor Swift concert and 20 minutes later, nobody cares, okay? They just want to hear something or get a sense of who you are outside of what they already know about you. So think about your values. Think about how you want to share your perspective on something. And I think a way we could play with doing this is incorporating Tim Ferriss's journaling exercise, where he recommends at the end of every day. Now, hear me out. I know you're not going to do this every single day, but it's an exercise that I think can be really cool to do for a period, maybe 1 month, or every Tuesday at the end of the day, before you go to bed, write out stories that happened that day, things that stood out to you. And you can use this to process your day. I think it's a really beautiful way to synthesize learnings, to notice that, you know what, it might have been a bad day, but what came out of that? You push your thinking beyond just the things that happen and then they disappear. And then you go through it and you go, is there anything interesting about me? Was there anything I overcame? Was there anything? Because that story, it's a story. Anything that's a story, other people will relate to, because we're all living a story. And the more that people can start to see other people framing their lives like that, as something that they overcame, some kind of adventure that they went on, it invites other people on that journey too, in their own selves. Okay, so that's a deep answer to it. If you want to take the shotgun approach, write down 5 fun facts about yourself, put them on your desk. You might never have to use them, but if you do, then you just say yours, and then listen to other people. Say something that I invite you to say something that's of value to you, where you're actually putting yourself in some kind of vulnerable position, but it's just giving you something so that you're present and you're not overly thinking or insecure, or at worst, accidentally sharing something really personal that you didn't mean to say, but you did impulsive, like you just said it just came out of your mouth. Have something somewhat ready to go in these instances. Okay, so there's some thoughts. Please drop in the chat anything that you think about this topic. I know we all are there, and you might not think about it often. So I would love to hear if you have any perspectives, questions, challenges, and I'll address them. So thank you so much. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much. Until next time.